Proverbials conveying my verbatim proof operations.
What is up, fight fans? It is MMA Monday with your favorite host of the Pride Rules MMA podcast. As always, we are sponsored by 80K Fightwear, Black Hole Jiu-Jitsu, Madama Jiu-Jitsu, and 2 Minute Warning Sports 360. I am your host, the Reverend Tommy D, joined with me by my co-host who does not need an interpreter, El Profesor, Omar Sangarima, and the happy hardcore casual, Chris Gucci. What's up, boys?
Happy. You got it right this time.
He did.
Yeah.
On point.
Hold on, Tommy.
Oh man, well, I mean, what a weekend. from Friday into Saturday, it was just nothing but combat sports bliss. Unfortunately, our buddy Shammy, he did not come out with the victory for Ring of Combat this weekend. Omar, did Brad win?
No, unfortunately, our boy Brad caught a head kick. Yeah, it's
0 for 2. Rough start, boys.
It was tough.
Way to be, guys.
Way to be, Jesus Christ.
I'm not talking about you. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about you two. Come on.
Oh, okay.
Tommy to lock
okay,
that up.
good.
The fuck?
Like, yo, Brad will find me. Brad will beat
I'm not talking that shit. Come on.
Well, hey, you know what? We know they'll be back. It's just a little bump in the road. It happens to the legends. It happens to the best of them where it just doesn't go their way. But
yeah, man.
Somebody whose way it did go, defending his belt for the first time, coming out successful, the pride of Rhinoso Wrestling. So, Chris, I know you watched that fight. What did you think about it?
I mean, his first of all, he's smaller than I thought. And all the talk about him going to the UFC and like challenging for the lightweight, he's only a bantamweight. I thought he was a featherweight, so I was wrong about that. And I've been wrong about that for a while. I wanted to clear that up because I've definitely been on air calling him a featherweight before. But yeah, man, nobody's fucking with that dude on the ground. As soon as he got his hands on, what's the dude's name? Riga? Omar, maybe you can help me. Probably can't. The dude that he fought had no shot.
He's probably related to him.
Oh, stop.
Yeah. No, but put it this way, he's from the Pitbull camp. Patricio, is that boy?
So his nickname is Pitbull?
That's brothers.
Yeah,
he's also a Pitbull. He's Mr. Worldwide as well. So, no, but they walked him out. So it was weird to see a third Pitbull that wasn't actually a Pitbull twin. For anybody that knows the Bellator fighters, are they twins? They look like twins.
Absolutely not. They're Irish twins.
Oh my.
They're not at all. There's at least like 1 or 2 years separating. Yeah, but
Well, anyway, yeah, man, he fucking mangled this dude as soon as it went to the ground. He took him down. The guy managed to stand back up, and then he just body locked him and put him right to his back into a choke. It was over quick, devastating choke too, like a front bulldog choke. Omar, did you see it?
Yeah, I did, and it was one of those.
I'm glad
squeezes.
You guys did.
Hey, man, no. But it was one of those squeezes where you're just like, if you get caught in it, you know, I'm the furthest thing from professional fighter, but even training, you get caught in it, you're like, fuck, I shouldn't get caught in this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jesus.
It was like the choke that Nate Diaz choked out Jim Miller with. It was like one of those front guillotine.
Was it? You know what it reminded me of in a weird way was Rockhold. Remember the one-armed jobber that
John Jones Machida, maybe? Jones Machida?
Too. Yes. Where he left him dead. He just let him crumble.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna
That's
go
when I realized
blow.
John Jones was a piece of shit. Because he just dropped him like a fucking heap of nothing.
So was it Brian Ortega's level of guillotine?
No, not at all.
No.
It was not as sneaky, not as slick. This was more like a
it's not against the top competition that Ortega's choking out. Well.
Yeah, it's not a Cub Swanson. Ego is not a Cub Swanson. You know, he's a pit bull.
And
Cub, which is a different
I'll just say
Cub.
this as well. Like Caldwell definitely needs some work on the mic.
Oof. Yep.
I mean,
he should get Mackenzie Dern's interpreter.
Call it like it is.
He
should. Who was that? George Gurgel? Was that George Gurgel?
Yeah, Gurgel, my boy, looking dapper in suits. We can get to that later, but I just wanted to drop that one in. Like, fuck, man.
I hope we don't get to that later, because that means that we're fucking were
talking
slim.
crazy talk.
So,
He looks like a.
if we
he
get
looks
your
like a
Joe,
Brazilian
your Joe
icon.
gets the buzzer. How about that from now on?
Okay, I'm ready. Even on myself. John.
Well, I didn't pay
he needs
attention
to
to
work
who
on
the
the mic.
interpreter was,
All
so
he
I
did
have
was
no
all
problem
I-
just
all
calling
he-
him the
All he
interpreter.
did was curse.
Okay.
All he did was curse, and it was on Paramount, so they had to bleep out every fucking word of his interview. And then he started
brilliant,
talking
yeah.
shit. He's like, I'm not calling nobody out. And they're like, well, the champion doesn't usually call people out, so we don't expect you to.
Yeah,
Who
does the champ call out? That's exactly right. Like that's one of those things where it's
So I was like,
unless you're asking for like another weight class fight or a belt from another weight class, I guess. But other than that, what does the champion do?
I don't
like,
mean to talk
I'm here.
shit about the local guy. He's from Rahway. His wrestling coach was my wrestling coach, so it's not like I don't want to talk shit, but I got to keep it consistent. We are MMA media after all, aren't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Those are press credentials already, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly. For April, preferably.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, they got him a fight pretty quick, so hopefully they get him another quick fight so he can see how much more he could steamroll that division. Speaking of steamrolling.
Oh boy.
All right, so the Deontay Luis Ortiz boxing match was Saturday night. It was going on while the UFC was going on. I know you guys are more in depth with that fight than I am because I was paying more attention to the UFC. But what I'm going to say is that last round where, Wilder ends up getting the win, more than half of those punches were to the back of Ortiz's head because Wilder's arms are so goddamn long. He looks like Mr. Incredible from the Fantastic Four throwing a punch, and it just ends up being flush to the back of the opponent's head. The referee wasn't stopping it. I don't know, what the deal was, but to me, he probably should have. Part of that onslaught should have been stopped because of how many punches went to the back of his head. I didn't see the beginning of the fight. I heard it was kind of back and forth. Chris, Omar, I'll let you guys go into this part.
It wasn't an overly exciting fight. I think Wilder came out strong and blew his load early and let Ortiz creep back into the fight, and then somehow he blew his load. Wilder got his second win and then started clubbing him in the back of the head, as Tommy said, and did hit him with a fucking couple really solid punches that did finish the fight that weren't behind the head. That uppercut wasn't behind the head. But I don't know with that technique that he's going to beat a guy like Anthony Joshua unless he catches
Hold on.
On the
Wilder and technique get this. Fuck out of here.
Fair enough.
There's no way.
Lack of technique.
Yo.
Lack of technique. He'll get, I don't know.
He'll get like a freak at a cut party by Anthony Joshua.
But he does have knockout power that he could put down anybody in the world.
Sure.
So there's that. I've seen Hakeem Rahman knock out Lennox Lewis too. So.
I mean,
and he likes
Ortiz
to beat
was,
up internet trolls too.
He was doing the Lord's work that day. So I'm going to give him a pass on that one. Everybody's wanted to do that.
I thought it was hysterical.
It was amazing.
I thought it was absolutely hysterical.
Phenomenal. But
wait, what did I miss? What did you just say?
Oh, Wilder beat
you
up
didn't know about that?
internet troll. Remember back in the day?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just didn't hear what you said.
I know you saw that. No, I know you saw that. I was like, Chris, hold on. I think Chris filmed it.
Of course
I was like, Chris,
kidding me?
He's got his finger on the pulse.
I've seen every fight that's ever taken place on camera.
Fuck, dude, you quantum leap like Scott Bakula up in this bitch. He's just there when it happens. But yeah. You could argue that he was back on the cards or behind on some of the scorecards. I wouldn't be angry. I'm talking about Wilder here. I'm just disappointed because what I wanted was a crazy hype fight between Wilder and Joshua, and now I'm not excited for that fight, although with recent news that we just saw in boxing, I'm not excited for a lot of boxing fights now. That's two that are making me sad. I mean, if one of the two of you want to cover that next.
Wait, you mean a Mexican getting popped for Mexican supplements?
Who would have thought, right? Jesus.
No.
It's deserved though. All right. I'm so mad. I wanted that fight to happen. I love the first fight.
It's highly disappointing. What is Triple G? If you don't mind me asking, I always forget this. Is he fucking some type of Russian? Because
he's Kazakhstan. No.
So
yes.
I mean
he's
that's kind of like, isn't that the formerly Soviet Union? That's
Icarus territory. I think that's what we'll call it from now on, right? It's Icarus territory.
But he did not get busted.
Isn't Borat from Kazakhstan?
You know what? I might have pulled that out of my ass. I'm looking it up right now because if I said Triple G was from Kazakhstan just because I have Borat on my mind, I'm gonna buzz myself for the rest of the show. GJ nationality.
I'm pretty sure Borat was definitely from Kazakhstan.
Let's see. No, yeah. Hey.
We're all waiting. We're all waiting in suspense.
Gennady Golovkin. Grigorovich. Middle name is no, that's not his middle name. But
they don't have steroids in Kazakhstan. They really don't.
No, it's just juice. They don't even call it. If they didn't call it steroids, it's not really steroids.
It's like hey.
It's Enfamil. It's Enfamil. It's just fucking. Oh, it's hay? Milk. Did you say? Hold on. Did you fucking say it's hay? God damn it, Christopher. Oh, my word.
Hey, listen. You remember what Eddie Gordon said when he was on this podcast, right? If they'd ever popped.
Yeah.
So. And he said it. He said it with that same eyebrow raise, too.
Ladies and gentlemen. Canelo popped.
Yeah, he did.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Not for hair gel. No. It was for actual steroids. Fucking sad.
Maybe that's why he's a ginger. Maybe it completely messed up his DNA makeup or something.
There's no way I look at that guy and say he's a.
Be careful.
He's an Aztec warrior.
Bro. You're dealing with a ginger bearded man.
Yeah, but I mean, as the Hispanic delegate on this esteemed panel, there's no way I look at that dude and say, yeah, he's one of ours. Not at all. So I get it. It's got to be something. But I'm sad that fight's gone. Although, to bring it back to the Ortiz-Wilder fight, Ortiz did pop prior. So, I mean, is it just a fact of life, I guess, in the sports game? Who knows? But, boring fight. Well, it was a back-and-forth fight. It was not what I thought it was going to be. And I'm bored for the potential matchup down the road. That's my 2 cents. That I said in 5 cents.
I don't think you should be that bored with it because Joshua's not a boring fighter.
I know.
So that could be a banger.
Oh, it'll be a banger, but I don't know. I think Joshua killed him.
It would have been better to set that fight up. It would have been better to set that fight up after Wilder's last knockout in the first round. That's when he had all the hype.
True.
Well, didn't Wilder take
boxing.
A fight not that long ago that was really boring that he took it on short notice?
I don't know,
man.
That was Wilder, right? Knocked out everybody.
40 wins and 30
KOs. I could have sworn I heard Schaub say that Wilder took a fight on short notice, and it was real lackluster, and it wasn't even worth watching. He could have been wrong because Brendan Schaub is right.
The big brown
3 out of 10 times.
Letdown. He's always wrong.
Yeah. He was talking about it on Rogan's podcast like a month ago. So he was probably wrong. So the Canelo and Triple G fight is off for how long now?
Is that actually a thing? It's off? I don't know that it's off yet.
I know he popped. That's about it.
I don't think that there's been an announcement. I think that he came out and said something about something. There's no official suspension or anything like that yet. But I'm sure that's imminent based off of his comments. Otherwise, why would he come out and say that? What a piece of shit, man. I can't believe it. What the fuck is wrong with him? I guess he knew he got tuned up in the last fight and he had no choice but to...
Or he could have been on it the whole time.
Yeah, that...
I mean, look at...
Shame,
all right,
though.
Just like what we've said about John Jones. After his only loss to Floyd Mayweather, he just started murking people. Got to make you think now, right? Just like John Jones. His first couple fights were good, but then all of a sudden he just turned into this world beater.
Well, I don't know. I think John Jones might have been on steroids his entire fucking career. There's no reason why I don't think that.
Santa Claus is real. Don't fucking ruin that one for me, and don't ruin the John Jones legacy. But I hate to say it, I agree.
Do
There's
I really
nothing,
have to ruin John Jones' legacy? Come on, what's wrong with you? Not you. I mean,
I'm just
what's wrong
saying.
with him? Everybody.
In terms of best ever, I want him to be the best ever. I want to say to my kids that I saw MMA's Michael Jordan, and now with all this bullshit.
Yeah, how about this? I was sitting
you know?
like the fourth row when he beat Shogun for his belt. I was sitting like next to his mother, watching that fight. So yeah, it would have been cool. I met him at the St. Pierre Dan Hardy fight. Before, I think it was after his first or second UFC fight. He was cool as hell. And then, like I said, I watched him fight Machida and drop him like a sack of shit after he choked him out. I was like, that guy sucks. The first thing I thought. Like, what kind of fucking piece of shit does that?
Just think, you could have been sitting next to the person that was holding his 8-ball in her purse.
Yeah.
His mom?
He was like
Isn't his mom
6'7",
dead?
by the way.
Stop it.
No, his entire family was fucking enormous. There are 2 NFL players. One,
well, I think she is now. She is now because DC made that nice heartfelt tweet about him, and then I think the next day told him to go fuck himself.
So why are you talking about her holding?
I wasn't talking shit.
Tommy
was
a
piece of shit. We already know that. I wasn't.
100%.
I just said she was like 6'7".
I'm half awake.
Tommy, you're
Cut
a
me a break,
scumbag, bro.
Talking about an old lady holding the 8-ball for her son. I don't know where the fuck to go from here.
All right, enough about fucking John Jones' family.
Well, I mean, look, I hope that the Triple G Canelo fight's not off because other than that in boxing, you have the Wilder Joshua fight to look forward to, and then other than that, really nothing turns the needle unless, you know, Conor and Floyd decide to go one more time for the $500 million fight.
I'm glad you said that because it really would turn the needle, unfortunately. And you know what? Conor would win.
In a boxing match?
Hold on.
We're not doing that again.
Oh, my God.
You want me to make my case? I can make a solid case here. I'm sure I can.
You tried to make a solid case the first time, and it didn't work.
I actually did make a solid case.
And it didn't work.
He did better than he had any right to do.
If I was in his...
It's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with all the improvements that he's clearly made since then, on his yacht.
I don't know. That's a bridge too far, Christopher. That's a bridge too far. Yikes.
I think Chris is trying to be funny. It was working.
Yeah, a little bit.
It was working. All right. Well, you know what? All right, let's jump on
that yacht. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yo.
There's a lot of Burger King on that yacht now, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Great
the Burger
promo.
King. Conor McGregor is the new Burger King, in case you guys didn't see that commercial.
I love that.
And if you haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out on YouTube, because I've watched it 38 times.
I never noticed how Conor and the Burger King guy have always looked alike. I never noticed that until I saw
And then he
kind of
hunches his shoulders the same way to make his head kind of look sort of similar. He goes for the whole thing. The burgundy, crushed velvet too. It's a wrap song.
That's a reach. You guys are reaching.
What are you talking about? He's got a big dome.
Burger King, fake meat. Conor McGregor, fake champion. Go together.
Champ. You got it wrong.
See,
there's an asterisk there, and it's actually the champ, not the fake champ. Correct yourself. What is wrong?
Well,
you know what the funniest part about this fight that took place over the weekend? I'm not going to jump into the fight, but 2 guys fought at a chance to win. At a chance to fight for Conor's belt that he's never lost yet. He hasn't defended it, but he's still never lost it. Nobody's beaten him for that belt.
Except himself.
Okay.
The only person who's beat him is the guy that he looks back at in the mirror. Let's not get into this at this point. There's so much other stuff.
Mess with Tommy. I know.
Yeah, so much other stuff to talk about.
Well, so we had UFC 222. It was a lot better than I anticipated it to be. It still wasn't a pay-per-view, though. Can we all agree on
I
that?
think it was really. I mean, I haven't bought a pay-per-view like that ever, so I don't really give a shit. You know.
Hold on, what?
Just meaning, like, I've never spent $65 on a pay-per-view. If anything, if I do pay for a pay-per-view, there'll be like 5 people involved, where it's like $10 a person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I go
Not
out and
pirating
watch
them
it.
though, right? Like that. You didn't
No,
mean
of
any
course
of that.
not.
Okay.
Oh wait, no. If I'm gonna buy
Okay.
it, that's how I buy it. But I don't buy every single one, and I've never missed one, so you can figure that out.
Well, you guys go to bars and your brother punches drunk chicks in the back of the head.
No, you want me to? Should I say the website that we use?
I forgot about that.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
Oh, no.
UFC.com, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we actually have a lot to talk about because
I have a question outside of this, Tommy. Do you feel really dirty when they do that that warning before the UFC pay-per-views as you're watching it for free?
No, I live on the edge.
Piracy is not a
5 years
victimless
in jail
crime.
and a $10 million fine. It's not a victimless crime, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
As I'm
It's all right.
clicking the link. Yeah.
Well, speaking of pieces of shit, Hector Lombard and CB Dalloway on the prelims. You know, what's making me sick is the fact that Hector Lombard and his fans are fighting this.
He has fans?
Yeah, it's surprising. I never knew until, this past weekend. But he's trying to cling on to the fact that CB Dalloway threw the leg, and that's why he threw the punches. Well, okay. The referee was telling him to stop. Not only did he throw one punch, he threw the second one, which, knocked Dalloway into fucking Christmas.
I don't mean to laugh, but wow.
And he does a walk-off after he does it. Like, are you kidding me?
I mean to laugh, because that was evil.
What a good guy. I
swear to God.
Now,
he's the Cuban Ivan Drago.
Omar.
That was scary, though. It really was scary.
Well, I think Dalloway had to go to the hospital.
Dalloway might not be okay.
Yeah. So, Omar.
I'm not just saying that.
You're Dana White. What do you do with this situation?
Deport him.
Can I ever get an honest answer from you?
Just send him. I swear to fucking send him back to Cuba. We don't need that here. He's probably a dreamer. Trump's got time for his ass. I'm serious.
I mean, that was
if
dirty.
If you get rid of Josh Koscheck, or no, not Koscheck, Daly.
Paul
right?
Daly.
Yeah, if you get rid of Daly for like a little slapperoo, right? Like a little love tap, you have to send Lombard marching down south.
I don't know if that was as malicious as the Paul Daly situation, because that was like clearly after the fight. That was assault. Like this was, it was a little more bang bang than that, a lot more bang bang than that. But it was still, I think it was still. Put it this way: he threw the punch with intent to hurt. It just was it muscle memory going through the motion? Who knows? I don't believe it was. I think he's a piece of shit. But
muscle memory? What, he remembered cheating? He just remembered
the air horn means throw 1-2 to the guy's chin. That's what the air horn means.
Yeah, no, it was late.
You know what I love
think
is that was his best
I'm just
striking.
saying, like, what I'm saying, it was
a
a little more bang bang. I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt. Is what I'm trying to say here.
Got it.
Because you can't get in somebody's head and understand their intent.
We got a communist in the ranks here, Tommy? Is this guy a fucking socialist over here? Like, what,
what the fuck?
What are we? He's trying.
No, listen. I think he did it intentionally, but I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt for the sake of the situation.
What situation? He's a cheating piece of shit. Get the fuck.
Meaning,
out.
like, you can't kick him out of the UFC. You can't kick him out of the UFC.
You can.
I don't think.
Easily you can, especially with his contract. You know how much he's costing these motherfuckers?
Well, that's a different story. I was just going to say, you can kick him out of the UFC because he sucks, if you'd like.
He's an overpriced asset that just gave them an opportunity to fire them. Well, why wouldn't you?
Well,
if this was a newer fighter, I could understand them being a little lenient. Like, okay, like especially if it was like the guy's first fight, and he had those. Okay,
but Lombard
maybe you give him the benefit of the doubt.
Too.
Lombard has been in the game a long time.
Lombard was a piece
knows
of shit
the end
in
of a
judo.
round.
Like Tommy? Like
Am I wrong about that?
I think
Lombard...
Chris knows too. Right? Like there's been rumors that he was a chooch even in judo on the international scene. Like he was just one of those assholes that would like try to bite your fingers off and shit.
Yeah.
Like he was known.
That's what I just said. He has a reputation for being a piece of shit. So, I guess the benefit of the doubt that I was trying to give pretty much out the window at this point.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
He's definitely a jerk off.
Yeah. And you got to feel bad for Dalloway because, I mean,
dude,
Dalloway's been on the back skid for a while,
And
like, I didn't even know he was still employed.
That was brutal. And he kept saying, like, what happened? And then they would tell him what happened, and like 30 seconds later, he'd be like, well, wait, what happened? And he did that happen 20 times. I'm not joking. That's not an exaggeration. That happened.
He was that guy in 50 First Dates.
I don't think that they should have had the camera on him. And I think Aljamain Sterling brought that up. I think it might have even been on, I don't know what podcast it was on, but he brought it up about how he didn't like how the UFC handled how he got knocked out. They shouldn't be showing that shit on TV. You got family watching. Scary.
Yeah, and that wasn't on pay-per-view either. That's FS1. Pretty much everybody has FS1. So you probably had a lot more people watching that than actually watching the pay-per-view. So I get what you mean.
I mean, at least legally. You're right about that. But,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I hope everything's okay.
That was bad. That was bad.
Yeah, I hope everything's okay with him, honestly.
He was asking what happened on the way back he was sitting on the stretcher, and they still had the camera in his face for some reason for like the 8th minute straight. And he was still asking what happened, and he was getting wheeled, back to the locker room.
I bet you he watched it on Sunday, and after he got done watching it, asked again, can I see the video? Because I don't know what happened.
Concussions are no joke.
No, especially like that when, there's no defense for it.
Yeah, we'll get to that again later because I think you know what I'm going to say with that Sugar Sean fight.
Yeah. Well, John Dodson broke his losing streak. I don't think he won that fight. I think Munoz was actually beating him. I don't know how Dodson ended up getting the win on that one, but, that's one win in the past, 3 fights?
Yeah. I mean, he did do good against...
yeah, I just don't think he won this fight. I thought he was getting tuned up pretty good, but I'm not a judge.
I don't know. I kind of saw it differently. I saw him really not getting hit that much, but he was more active. Neither guy was really landing.
I don't know, but I mean, with Adelaide Bird sitting at the desk, I'm surprised that the scores were as close as they were. To be honest with you. Speaking of that, I know you guys heard Joe Rogan going off on her that night, right?
Oh Jesus! Why? Yeah. Why the hell is she still in the booth?
My favorite line is.
My mother's.
Well, no, when John Anik was saying that the last time we saw Adelaide Bird was for the Canelo Triple G fight. Rogan was like, "Yep, bet she got a Ferrari after that one."
What was it where they said something like, "Oh, stop it, she's a really nice lady," and Joe Rogan was like, "Yeah, my mother's a really nice lady too, and I don't want her reffing a fight."
Oh, that was him in D.C.
Yeah,
that was him in D.C. Yeah, they're a hysterical duo. Definitely are. When Stipe's done punching fucking DC suckhole, he could sit on the desk and just call fights with Joe Rogan.
Suckhole.
So
suckhole.
That's a great image.
Right,
that's a great image. My God.
So speaking of somebody's first fight in the UFC, Alexander Hernandez dusted Dariush. But I want to ask you guys this: do you think Hernandez was a little scummy, putting his hand out to tap the glove just to throw a front kick? I did that was a little scummy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's either or.
If you want to throw
either
the
shake
front
hands-
kick, just throw.
Exactly.
If you want to start the fight with a front kick, just start the fight with a front kick. You don't
Wave
have to
off
fucking
the
shake
wave
the
off
hand.
the shaking of the hands, and then fucking go Kung Fu Kid.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
They should
Don't-
fucking ban that. By the way, I think that should be illegal. Not with the fucking shaking hands before the fight. You touch gloves before when you're standing in the face-off. You want.
They don't always get
Then
that.
you don't
They
need-
don't always get that chance to.
Oh, then poor them. It's a fist fight. I get the respect. I understand it, but
If you don't get to stand in the middle and do it, and you do it before the fight. Okay, that's respect, but don't throw the kick. I mean, it didn't affect anything because it's not like he landed anything flush or Dariush was still fighting back, but I don't know, man. I mean, Hernandez looked really good against a seasoned UFC fighter. You see, it's kind of hard for me because it was just one fight. I don't want to start riding the train yet, but what do you guys think about the possibility of this kid's career?
I mean, Dariush is legit. He's been around the block. He's had some tough fights. Had some bigger names than he's beaten. Definitely a big win for this kid. He looked like he was excited after the fight, saying, "If you didn't know me, you're about to know me." Blah blah blah, calling his own shot, so to speak, as him being a superstar. So there's that. He's trying, putting himself out there. I'm not going to say nothing bad about the kid because he looked good. Why would I bash the dude? I got to see more, but definitely got to see more. But so far, so good. It's better than him coming out and getting dusted. And
Omar?
it wasn't a boring fight. He
No,
finished,
it wasn't.
which is huge.
Well, Professor?
I think it's a little early. I know Dariush is legit, but to quote one of our esteemed panelists, that weight class is one of the deepest weight class, if not the deepest weight class in the UFC.
Yeah.
So we could be singing his praises now and totally have a different tune in a little while. He needs to cut it out with a little handshake, tug, head fake business. But other than that, again, he's on the right side of the win column, but let's see.
I think that, what team is he from? Is he from a team that's got a coach that's going to fucking tell him, yo, cut that shit out, bro?
Is Malky his agent? 'Cause then
Right.
Absolutely not. He'll cut his cocaine for him.
But
He'll do a little. Yeah.
promising kid, but it's definitely a shark. There's some sharks in that division, so careful what you wish for. Gotta show me a little bit more. We're talking about the top 20 guys, or Mike Perry's not even ranked, right?
Nope.
Who?
Exactly. But still
Stop
a tough
it.
fighter.
I was making a Mike Jones joke, all right? You calm down. All right, chill.
Who?
Jesus Christ.
You talking about
Yeah.
James Jones?
Oh, God. Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, aside from the bullshit in the beginning, he's definitely an exciting fighter. I don't know if that stand and bang is going to last you too long in that division. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's some
You're
wrestlers
going to end up
in
getting
there.
that chin checked quick.
And not
What do
only
you
that,
think?
there's just you got to show you could wrestle in that division.
All right, so put him against Usman.
Oh,
He'll
Christ.
get killed. That's way too big of a leap. Way too big of a leap. How about
All right.
you want to put him against
Colby Covington. Colby Covington likes to
Killed.
pick on guys that aren't ranked, so give him Colby Covington.
Kobe Chaos Covington.
how about a guy let's think of a wrestler that would probably
I want to see Covington fight a bus. I'm sick of that motherfucker.
How about the guy that just beat Mike Perry?
Max Griffin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Max Payne.
What?
That
Max
would be
Payne
good.
Griffin. Let's see it.
Well,
You let one of those guys build off each other. Let's see which one of those two is the one that is gonna make the next step. Perfect.
Well, start making noise on Instagram and stuff like that and tagging the shit out of them. Maybe Maybe you'll get them
Maybe I
to
could
start beefing with each other.
set it up.
What the hell? It's worth it. It's worth the shot, right?
Yeah, let's set it up. They can come in fight in my backyard.
All right. Well, let's get to the main event of the FS1 prelims. Mackenzie Dern gets her first UFC win against Ashley Yoder. Now, all jokes aside, yes, it's extremely hysterical. Someone who's from Arizona, who only a few years ago was talking like a Valley girl, now all of a sudden has a thick Brazilian accent and for some reason needs a translator on UFC TV, but didn't need one through every interview that she did all week leading up to the fight. Her striking is horrible. It is atrocious.
Yeah.
She's got to get with somebody who could teach her to strike to go into those takedowns because those takedowns weren't working. The first round, she definitely won that first round, for sure. Just from the few strikes that she landed were a lot harder. She had a lot of overhands that were landing. The second round, Yoder was just destroying her. And, the third round, it was kind of even, right, Omar? Until Mackenzie landed that takedown, and I thought Ashley was dead.
Yeah. She did a good job fighting that, though, for a while.
Yeah.
But you could see Dern's skills. You could see Dern's skills right on the ground right away. Like, she's definitely gonna be tough to handle down there. But she's got no double leg, and she's trying to fucking clinch with a Muay Thai girl to take her down. It wasn't gonna happen.
No, even when she was getting her against the cage, she wasn't even able to get a single leg. She really needs to get with a different camp to help with the striking to the takedowns.
I'll
and
tell you
things
this
like
though,
that.
she at least brought good head movement, but the problem that I saw with her striking was that she was turning her head. When she was throwing her punches, she was looking away. She was afraid to get in the pocket. You could tell that she's not comfortable striking.
Yeah, and that's kind of been all her fights, right? Like even in Invicta, that's kind of been all her fights. But I mean, the level of talent, nothing against Invicta, but the level of talent between Invicta and the UFC is two different things. You know what I mean? She might have been able to take girls down in Invicta a lot easier than she's going to be able to do in the UFC. Am I in the right ballpark there, Omar?
I think so. I think Chris hit the nail on the head with she doesn't like slinging leather in the pocket, but then at the same time, it's not as though she has an unstoppable takedown game. Once she gets to the ground, it's scary, and we saw that in this fight. But how are you going to do that and then not have either this amazing, hot lava magma takedown game or like a weird leg lock game to try to at least engage and get it to the floor?
Or here's
You're gonna have
thought.
trouble.
Pull guard. Get in the clinch and pull guard.
I don't know why more people don't do that, Tommy, when they don't have takedowns. And no, you know what? Let me back that up again a bit here. I know why they don't do that, and I think you know why too. MMA judging. With Adelaide Bird in the corner, with Adelaide Bird not in the judges' booth, I think a lot of fighters have, and rightfully so, because some bullshit decisions have been handed out. You can lean on somebody, hump their leg, and throw a couple punches for 3 out of the 5 minutes, and it'll be looked upon better than pulling guard and trying for something. Yes, she'll get a sweep. She's that good on the ground. But what happens when she isn't? Sadly, she'd rather test her luck standing up and leaning on her against the cage, as bad as it would be. It'd be a more exciting fight if she pulled guard, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, because, I mean, you would have to think anybody who's seen her in all her jiu-jitsu competitions and things like that, the girl can work off her back.
Yeah.
She can chain submissions together. The takedown. Yeah, the takedown won her the third round, but her total domination on top, going for those submissions, that's what sealed that third round for her. You know what I mean? Just the takedown's not enough. So if she had pulled guard, honestly, I think she would have at least gotten herself in a position for, if not a triangle, an arm bar. I mean, how good is Yoder on the ground? I know she's a Muay Thai specialist, but how good is she on the ground?
She's not a slouch. You know, she scrambles well against anybody not named Mackenzie Dern. And I think it's one of those things where if she gets you to the ground, she's going to make you look bad. I don't think – who else in that division do you think has anything to offer on the ground to somebody like Mackenzie? Straight just grapple time.
I don't know. And my thinking why Mackenzie wasn't able to get the submission off and get the win, I think she punched herself out. The only punches she was throwing was overhand rights.
Yeah.
And then she'd throw the overhand right and go against the cage. That's wearing both of them out. It's wearing her out, holding her there, and trying to get her down. You know, and then they would break off the cage, and then she's throwing overhand rights again.
It's
not
one of those things where she's not comfortable standing up. So even a very much more skilled combatant, even if they're just throwing those overhand rights, say, for example, if they're a little more...
Combatant. Nice word.
You know, if they're a little more seasoned standing up, they're not going to tire themselves out, period. So I completely agree with your point there, Tommy. You're going to get more tired because she was nervous standing up.
Yeah,
too,
and plus the weight cuts are not easy for her.
No,
I mean, the
not
weight
at
cut,
all.
she said the weight cut was better this time, but it's not an easy cut for her.
No, she walks around at a significantly more weight. She was starting to have some weird weight troubles. I don't want to blame, you know, her ex-boyfriend for this, but I don't know what it was. Like once that got rocky, her and Tenquinho, right? Another jiu-jitsu guy, Augusto Mendez, I believe. Her weight started fluctuating, and then she started like fighting up a couple of classes, even on the jiu-jitsu circuit. I don't know what the hell happened there. You know, I'm trying to be cute here, but I don't think the weight cut is doing her any favors.
Adorable. You're adorable, sir.
I thank you. Thank you. You know, she was getting a little bit of a pooch. Far be it from me to say anything. But
that's why I think she wasn't able to actually finish any of those submissions towards the end of that third round. I just don't think she had the gas tank.
You're saying it's a little fanny pack? What are you trying to say? Tommy, come on.
You talking about a fupa?
Yeah.
I didn't say any of that stuff.
Tell me straight business today.
I didn't say
She's jiu-jitsu royalty. Megaton's going to fuck me up if I talk shit. I know.
Yeah, I don't know.
He probably still could, too. He's a bad man.
I think she needs to at least for striking, go to and I know I say this all the time, but because it's probably one of the best MMA camps you can go to, TriStar. Go up to TriStar.
Go fuck yourself. She ain't going up to TriStar. You know why?
What?
You know why? There's in all the places that she's supposedly lived and adopted the accents for, none of them have involved snow. So I'll tell you right now, my girl ain't moving up to TriStar for nothing. No. All right? Arizona, California, Brazil. You know what they all don't have? Fucking snow. Okay? Not going to happen.
Well, you're wrong, because there's a place called Flagstaff, Arizona, and that's where it snows.
Well, I don't think she's training in Flagstaff, sir. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, and there's places in California that snows too, all right? But generally speaking, it's a little more sun. There's a place called Flagstaff. Thank you, Carmen Sandiego. Get the fuck out of here, man. Jesus Christ.
Well, the only reason why I'm saying that is because Faraz can actually teach her MMA striking to takedowns for her jiu-jitsu.
I just don't know that it's in the cards for her. To be honest, I know that she's young, but I don't know, man. There's some significant problems there.
Yeah, and then this, because it started already before the fight even happened. You saw the memes of which hype train do you want to see derail first? And it was that O'Malley kid, and it was a picture of Mackenzie Dern.
Well, O'Malley's legit. We'll get to that, but
well, Dern is legit too. But like our buddy from Paradigm was saying that night on Facebook, she's marketable for BJJ, not for MMA yet. You know, she didn't have that many fights in Invicta that got her into the UFC. Everybody was waiting for her to get into the UFC. But
yeah,
if she's going to want to
it
stay...
wasn't like she was out there, she wasn't out there, you know, like some buzzsaw in Invicta. She was just, you know, kind of plodding along.
I think she only had like 2 fights there. 1 or 2 fights.
Yeah, but I meant like her fights weren't exciting.
No, but again, that comes to the coaching. It's what she's being taught.
No, they weren't. I love that. That's just flat out.
She's like, well, no.
We're stinkers.
But like I said,
no.
maybe, you know, you could coach. There's some very below average fighters with really good coaches. It just doesn't necessarily mean that she could go to the best camp in the world. She might still be a very average fighter with really good coaching.
I don't know. Not with her jiu-jitsu pedigree. It's hard to be an average fighter with that jiu-jitsu pedigree.
It's not true.
With the right coaching.
If she's got a world-class striker on her hands, like world-class, she's going to get put to sleep with that head movement and that.
You know who had that jiu-jitsu pedigree and who still didn't turn out to be an amazing fighter was George Gurgel, who coincidentally also happened to moonlight in the cage on Saturday.
Did you just buzz yourself?
Yeah, I don't get that. I don't know what that was all about.
My apologies. I was a little slow.
I don't know what that was all about. That's very strange. It's like
bizarre,
when Madonna moved to London and all of a sudden she had a fucking British accent.
Yo, the Kabbalah gave her the accent. I'm tired of telling you motherfuckers, all right? But if you study Jewish mysticism, you're going to develop a British accent, all right? It's just, that's what happens. Okay?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be interested to see who they link Mackenzie up with next. Maybe they give
Rosetta
her somebody
Stone.
who's...
Get her some Duolingo.
Maybe they link her up with a wrestler.
Bitch.
Maybe
so
that's next. They link her up with someone who's a wrestler.
So she loses.
You know?
Thanks, Tommy. Way to derail it. I mean, come on. Let her build up some steam.
What division? What was she? She was a 25-pounder?
Yeah, I believe so. 125. Yeah. Should be 135.
No, she's 115.
Should be 145. She should
Jesus.
be. I'm telling you. The weight cut kills her.
She's 115. So give her a wrestler.
No.
Let her work off her back. Let's see her craft.
Oh my God.
So then who?
I don't know.
Is there a
Usman. Give her Usman. Let's just make the fight. Yeah. Put it on YouPorn after.
You
can just go the full. You can go the full.
All right. Well, let's jump on up to the main card. So,
look at him reeling me in. Oh God.
The curtain jerker was Kat Zingano and Caitlin Ferreira. Well, Alpha Cat did not look too good in her.
The curtain jerker.
I like that. No, it's legit. That's a phrase. I love it.
It's legit. I know. It's just funny.
Yeah.
It's Cat did not look good for her first time back in 3 years.
Look, I beta Cat.
She just wasn't able to put it together. Look, I'm a Kat Zingano fan. I'm hoping, she can bounce back. I know she took the 3 years off. She did everything with her cookbook that just came out. I mean, do you see her, Omar, being what she was before she went away, or do you think maybe that time off might have kind of derailed it for her?
First of all, I'd like to say that I think the Based God gave the cookbook an endorsement, so she's officially okay with doing the little fucking cooking dance if she ever wins again.
Is that Lil B?
However,
Tommy
It will
doesn't
be.
get that reference, but I do.
I know, but I know Chris would. I feel Chris had me on that one. But
Yeah,
I think
I got you.
I think Alpha Cat. It was really sad because we follow her on Instagram on Twitter, and her story's phenomenal. Like for anybody that's forgotten, it has been 3 years. I mean, she did have her husband, who also was like a big part of her training camp back in the day. Yeah, her trainer commit suicide. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's a tremendous
She's
story.
a single mom.
Yeah, big comeback. She's raising the kid. The kid.
I don't understand. I don't want to go. I don't want to take it to this point, but what was going on? All right, I'll just. You know what? I'm going to leave this one. I'm going to leave this one.
You know what? That's a good question, Chris. And just to piggyback off that slightly, I really don't know. I tried. I don't
think most people do.
That's what's crazy. I tried looking it up, and the internet's my fucking playground, and nothing.
Yeah, it's very.
I swear, like it's weird. So being respectful though, that whole thing, and you were, Chris. It was just I'm baffled at what's going on. So she had that crazy time. She's making the comeback. I really would have wished for her to have at least the one win back. The weight cut looked like it went well. She has a cookbook, so that's a plus right there. She could have like another revenue stream or another form of employment after the fact.
Why was she ranked so high for somebody that took 3 years off? Why was she ranked fifth?
So it's shallow division. The rankings mean nothing. I mean, I have a bunch of reasons.
Yeah. She has.
I don't know, man.
She does have a win over the current champion.
Yeah,
that was her last fight, wasn't it?
Wasn't it come from behind win too?
Yeah, that was because Joe Rogan loves the primal scream after that.
Oh well, yeah.
That was nuts. I think that was her last fight.
Potentially.
I'm pretty sure that was her last fight.
She didn't look the same. Even her pre-fight pictures, she looked different. Everything, she looked way off. Didn't look like the normal Cat Zingano to me.
Well, Chris, you like to give the benefit of the doubt early on. I think we should give her the benefit of the doubt on this one, and hopefully she bounces back.
Was getting the benefit of the doubt. Cat Zingano definitely fucking get the benefit of the doubt.
I'm
right,
not
Chris?
talking shit. I'm just saying she looked out of it. She didn't look focused. She looked very different.
I mean, let's face it. She wasn't fighting a can either. Caitlin Vieira.
Yeah, of course.
Insane.
I love how Chris is calling her an old hag at this point. Like that's really just beyond me. I don't know where he gets off.
You're putting
dropping that sort of language. Dropping that sort of language. Did it look the same? I know what it's called.
I'm actually going the opposite. She was doing the duck face in her pre-fight picture. It was fucking weird. I'm like, what? I thought this bitch was bad as hell.
And she looked like Joan Rivers when she did it. That's all I'm saying. But no, and just that was her last win, Tommy. You're right about that. She's lost 3 in a row since then. That's tough.
Really?
She's lost 3 in a row?
Yeah.
Ronda,
it is
Juliana Pena, and Caitlin Vieira. Yep.
That's right.
So why is she ranked 5th?
Duck face, I guess. I don't know.
The duck face and the shorts.
Why is Shogun still ranked 6th?
That's where you really want me to go with it. You really want me to go with it? She had fucking shorts on that were 3 sizes too small. But I was about to say that, and then you're talking about her husband committing suicide. I'm like, I can't talk about this now.
That's
but you want me to say it, I'll say it.
Way to go.
She fucking didn't look herself. She looked like she
her
was
shorts,
out there.
Her shorts looked mad European.
The fight.
They did, right? Mad European.
Yes.
These were tight. Baby gap.
Well, I don't know. Hopefully she can get it together and bounce back, because she is an exciting fighter when she's on her A game for sure.
To Bellator, maybe. Does Bellator have a women's division? I don't know.
They do. She's very bad.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of could be bounced to Bellator, Stefan Struve lost to Andrei Arlovsky. Arlovsky was putting it on him, man.
Yo.
I was shocked. I did not see that coming with Arlovsky. The takedowns. What was that last one that did he hip toss him?
Shout out to Andrei Arlovsky's first win in the UFC was in year 2000. What the fuck is that?
That's insane, dude. I mean, I don't. Could we
Insane.
legally
That's exactly
drink
what
back
it is.
then?
Insane.
Fucking crazy.
I wonder, is that a record? I wonder. Jamie, look
What are you
that up.
talking about?
Oh, Jamie.
What was it
Jamie's
that
not
you
here.
You know, he said since the year 2000, and he's horrendously wrong. But I didn't want to say nothing.
His first win?
Oh, his first win. I thought you said his last win. His
No, his
latest
first win in the UFC.
Okay.
His first win in the UFC was 2000. Thank
April
you,
9th.
Omar.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
That's nuts.
Wow.
Against Michael
That's got to be a
Kilroy?
record for the biggest book, the most time between bookended wins. You know, your first win and your last win in the UFC, 18 years apart. That's incredible.
Yeah.
At UFC 50.
Didn't Aaron Brink
Is that-
die too? Didn't he get shot?
I
Or
believe so.
did he do
Damn,
porn?
this is a grim show.
That's
Right?
Where's Brett Rogers? Jesus Christ.
What's going on with
in
Matt
jail.
Hughes?
Jail.
Jail.
Groping somebody that doesn't want to be groped.
Yeah.
All right. So
He's
elephant in the
definitely got
room
the
here.
top bunk.
What happens to Struve now? I mean, did this guy, all
He goes sees a cardiologist
I
and
have-
never fights again?
Can I have advice?
Outta here.
I have advice for Stephen Struve.
Oh, boy.
No more cupping before the fight. Like,
yeah, dude, how bad is that?
Yeah.
Like, how bad was that?
do that
Oh.
shit a week or two before the
It's
fight.
terrible.
Don't do that. Like,
No, man.
what was that?
It was
Did
Gwyneth
he have
Paltrow's
leeches on his
fight
back?
prep.
What the fuck is that?
That's what it was. It was Gwyneth
The fuck?
Paltrow's on her website. Fucking goop.com. Said that to get optimal breathing patterns so that your heart doesn't explode in the middle of a UFC match.
I'm gonna be honest. The word cupping kind of freaks me out. Just
Yeah.
the whole.
It arouses
just the
me.
word sounds fucked up.
It doesn't freak me out.
That's everyone's got their bag, That's yours.
Hey, now I'm
You
saying.
know.
Well, the way
Come on. You don't-
Khabib was doing it,
Fuck
I
out
feel
of
like
here.
it's
freaked me out
something that shouldn't
where they
exist.
cut him. The way Khabib was doing it, that freaked me out because they cut you and then they
Well,
They
he's
put those
from
cups on?
Dagestan, bro. With them,
Yeah.
the
I think that was-
Dagestanis are.
I think
have their
that
own
wasn't
way.
that a
He
Ramadan
eats hay.
custom?
He
Like,
also
that's a Muslim thing?
eats hay, right,
Oh,
Omar?
fuck out of here. Jesus Christ. That's going to be a thing now. God damn it. He's on,
Well,
he's on that
if
ham and buttermilk diet.
tiramisu makes you that good of a wrestler, I might as well just start buying it by the truckload then.
No, you
Yo, I
can
was
eat
watching
watching
have that
tiramisu
on
and
the
then
keto
cup.
diet.
Action Bronson Rogan podcast today, and he was talking. They were talking about Khabib. Have you seen that episode? I'm sure you have, Omar.
Oh, of course. Jesus, it's a classic.
And
Where he
he's-
talks about Trump having a micro penis. Was
Yeah.
that the one? Yo.
That is the one. That is the one. Where he was like, he's like Dagestanis, and Action Bronson's like that motherfucker is crazy. He's like he just
Yep.
wrestles people in the barn,
and in
the cold,
you know what,
and the
you know
snow,
what's crazy?
and the wet. He just
It's
kept
that fucking Action Bronson's Albanian, all right, and he's crazy. Okay, like Albanians are nuts.
He's an Albanian Jew.
And if an Albanian Jew goes and says that boy's crazy, you give him a wide berth. He eats hay, souls, nails, all sorts of shit. Fuck.
So
Fuck,
here's
that's
the
delicious.
crazy thing
Such a good show.
with this fight. Struve is ranked number 10. Arlovsky is number 12. Do you think this fight puts Arlovsky in the top 10? And do you think they start giving him better opponents now? Because it's obvious that he's not done. What do you think?
He's definitely not done. Ooh.
Omar?
Struve?
I didn't see a good. He fights Devin Struve again.
Yeah.
Maybe over.
It's crazy to think about, but I mean,
You know what's funny is that Andrei Arlovsky is quote unquote in the mix again at heavyweight. That blows my mind. All right, did you know that his first win in the UFC was in 2000?
I
It's
didn't
nuts,
know that.
man. That's crazy.
I
Dude.
did not know that. Chris, how come you didn't know that?
Yeah, come on, Chris.
Wait,
Slacking,
say that-
bro.
Say that again. I was reading a text. I'm going to be honest.
Oh no!
Hello,
Probably
Sam.
from
Hello,
Stephen
Sam.
Struve's mom. saying, "Don't make fun of my boy. He gets heart palpitations when he gets anxious." Jesus, don't let that man fight again. Just stop it. He's 19
he
feet
definitely has an
tall.
enlarged heart.
He needs
cupping.
3 hearts to power that body. Okay, let's be honest, all right? I'm not a doctor, but
Yo, he's
fuck,
a 7-foot child. Doesn't he look like a child still?
He
Like,
does.
what
He
the
looks like
fuck
a
is going on?
7-foot-tall Gerber baby that's pissed off
He's
and wants to
7-foot
fucking
Dutch boy.
He does.
No, it's like
He
I
really-
said. It's like I said on
Okay.
Facebook that night. Stefan Struve looks like Tiny from House of a Thousand Corpses.
You're
That's
right
what he
about
looks like.
that. You know?
Yo, he's 7 foot tall. And he looks like
I swear-
tiny.
He looks like
He
that.
really is 6'11" and a half. What the fuck is going on there?
And he was
the
getting
afro.
ragdolled by Andre Arlovski.
Yo, Cormier
Ragdolled.
was like, that's Arlovski's has 3 takedowns in his last 14 UFC fights, and they were all tonight.
Yeah.
Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? He doesn't have any takedowns ever, and he was ragdolling a fucking.
Well, no,
he remembered
he's got,
that he can do sambo.
Yeah, he's
against this
a
fight,
really good sambo guy. He just didn't have to use it that much back then because he was just knocking motherfuckers out. I don't know, but like you said, it is kind of crazy, Omar, because
He should let the shoulder hair grow back.
in the mix.
He should. If he does
he had back hair. He had back hair. That was what it was. Yeah,
that's
the
key.
first thing I said. I was like, "Yo, he's back. Pitbull is back."
No.
And I was watching.
That's the real
oh, my
Pitbull,
goodness, man.
right? Isn't that the real Pitbull? Like we got 4
He was
Pitbull
the
brothers
original.
on the show
Yeah,
today.
like not the
Yeah,
guy
okay.
that's from that lives in Beverly Hills, like the guy from Minsk, Tel Aviv,
Exactly.
or wherever the fuck.
Hold on,
Belarus,
Minsk
man.
or Tel Aviv?
No, Belarus.
Hold on,
Tel Aviv,
what
Belarus.
the fuck? Oh Christ! Yo, totally different sides of the Iron Curtain, Christopher. Jesus, Minsk or fucking Tel Aviv? I
Thank
love
God
you,
he's
bro.
not a geography major.
Oh my
Holy
God, he's an
shit,
amniologist. I know that much. Valopupscalia.
I'm LOLing. For
That's
sure.
fucking crazy.
There's a lot of laugh out louding going on Chris's side there.
Oh man.
Laugh out louding, Tommy. What the fuck country are you
Yeah.
from? Speak
I
English.
see you don't
Laughing
listen to
out
UFC
loud.
Unfiltered, that's why.
He's from
Louding
Kazakhstan.
is not a word.
Oh.
No, it's what
Yeah.
Matt Sarah had
Eating
said
that-
that to The Rock
drinking
when they
those,
were interviewing The Rock
Hey,
on
milkshake.
UFC Unfiltered.
The Enfamil. The hay milkshake. Give me a hay smoothie. I'll learn how to wrestle.
A
Well,
gravel and
speaking
hay
of laughing
smoothie.
out loud, let's talk about the Sugar Sean
Laugh out
O'Malley
louding.
and Andre Soccer Mom fight with
Oh, boy.
the impromptu interview while O'Malley was getting a fucking
Yo,
splint
a star was
put on his
born.
leg.
A star was born with that.
Oh my God!
That
Yeah.
guy couldn't have wrote that up any better, man. That was perfect. I would trade a broken foot for that interview, 100%.
Well, first of all, O'Malley was putting on a clinic
Oh yeah.
against Andre. I mean, it was
Until he got hurt.
laughable at moments. But how stupid is Andre's fight IQ, where you see the guy's got a hurt leg, and you help him to
Yeah.
the ground?
No, that fight
What the fuck
stopped.
is that?
If he just backs away, he couldn't continue. The ref would have stopped
Yeah.
that fight.
I mean, it
But
would
here's
have been the shitty way to win.
You remember earlier? You know what I'm going to say about this? You remember earlier? It doesn't matter. A win is a win. Fucking back off. You know, get the win. But what I said earlier about concussions and when we were talking about Dalloway and Lombard, this dude was concussed from that first round. He never recovered from that. His corner in between rounds were talking to him, and he was fucking nowhere to be found. And then they're screaming, bro. Like, I hear it on the pay-per-view. You hear their corner going crazy, back off, step away, and he wouldn't fucking step away. He wasn't even paying attention. Or he was, but it just wasn't, something wasn't clicking there. He was heavily concussed, which shows you how crazy and dangerous the sport is at times. You've seen it
I mean,
last week
O'Malley is
with,
so he's so fucking rangy.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, where do you
tough.
set up on this kid? Because he could hit you from 12 feet away.
Yeah, really unorthodox and like crisp, accurate striking for somebody that unorthodox.
I
What does he
never
remind
knew
me
that
of?
Dustin Diamond was in
Like
the
a
UFC.
young Max.
I'm shocked.
Young
Oh
man.
my God.
I'm shocked.
He didn't stab anybody. You can't say that it's the same guy.
Well, no, he does have that tattoo on the eye, you know.
I mean,
Oh,
this
my
dude,
God.
this dude 6 months ago was fighting on the Contender Series. He just fought on a pay-per-view main card, so he's on the come up for real.
Oh yeah, they're gonna ride that wave.
Tommy, what is your take on this guy? My brother told me
I
that
like
you
him.
actually kind of liked him. That surprises
I like
me.
him.
We're on board together for the first time in a
Yeah.
while, like early with a fighter, where we actually
Well, you know
both
what
like
it is?
a young kid.
I heard him on UFC Unfiltered when he was talking to Matt Serra, and he's funny. He's a funny kid, and he's a pothead.
Yeah, and he's also not as much of a dick and a prick as he comes off to be. I can guarantee that, because you can see his relationship with his coaches, and he's definitely a lot different, I would say. When
Yeah,
you know the
no,
guy.
he's witty. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
He's witty.
smart man, doing something right.
Yeah.
Like I said, he made his way to a pay-per-view in 6 months on the main card of a pretty big fucking card. No, I wouldn't say it turned out to be the biggest card, but it was before Max went down. That was a pretty big card. You know?
Omar, do you think it was a big card before Matt went down, or was it a stretch like you said a couple weeks ago?
It was a stretch.
You're
I
missing
don't
my
think-
point. It was a pay-per-view. He's on. They're all big.
Oh yes,
there's
it's
one a
huge
month.
for him to be on a pay-per-view, absolutely. But
I'm
it
not
wasn't
saying it's not like the Brooklyn card. That
Yeah.
We'll get to that later. Well,
Yeah. No, but you know what? It was. I hope he's not going to be out long. You know what I mean? But I still couldn't believe that Joe Rogan bent down to do an interview with him while he's getting his the
most
splint
classic
taped up
line,
on his leg.
Joe Rogan. There's a good chance that in like a couple of years, if this kid makes it, that in the beginning of the Joe Rogan podcast, how they do the Nick Diaz quotes, it's going to be this kid saying, "I fucking love you, Joe Rogan," and Joe Rogan's like, "I fucking love you too." Great.
I have a feeling this
That was
kid's going to
great.
be on Joe Rogan probably within the next couple months.
He should.
Maybe not that soon. I mean, Rogan
I
big time
bet
people
you
all the
they
time.
will. Trust me. I bet you
Hey,
they will
guys.
because the kid is a pothead. Joe is a pothead.
We have a caller.
Oh.
Actually. I'm gonna bring him on. Hey, caller,
So
you're
how'd
on.
you guys feel about How'd you feel about Jeremy Stevens on his knees begging for a title shot?
When was that? 2 weeks ago? Jeremy Stevens did some fucking crazy work, though. I wouldn't say he deserves a title shot, but he fucking made that Rocky Dennis looking dude look more like Rocky Dennis.
Oh, please, Jeremy Stevens. Please. Please. Are you on that train now, Chris?
No, not at all. I don't fucking like Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Well, all right. So since we're sticking with that division, let's jump with the Frankie fight. Chris, I'm sure you're happier than a pig in slop. I know you're happy. Frankie finally got finished. And it was a big night for you.
Do you really think that I'm happy about that? You don't really think that,
Yeah,
do you?
because like the whole next day I wasn't right. And that makes you happy.
No. That made me sick. I swear to God, it made me fucking nauseous to see. It was weird. Like
Right?
I wanted Frankie to win the fight because I wanted him to get his shot. I did not think he was going to win that fight, though, and I didn't think he was going to make it through it. I said it, but I was like, I have a hard time predicting somebody's going to finish Frankie until I see it. It was tough to watch. It really was tough to watch.
And here's what bothers me with this, and I thought back to what Frankie had said when he was talking to Matt before the fight, because Matt was saying to him, I know you were training for a 5-round fight. What's different now that it's being changed to a 3-rounder? And Frankie said, well, the first round is really important. I have to get after it in the first round, get that first round, so I don't have to come back 2 more rounds. He was doing well. He was winning. You look at the numbers of the fight. He was winning. He was landing the more significant strikes. He was landing the more total strikes. He was winning the fight. My heart sunk when he went for the takedown the first time because I'm like, oh fuck, he's going for the guillotine. And he got out of it.
Yeah, he almost got it.
The problem was Frankie stayed on the inside too long. That was the problem. He stayed on the inside too long, and then he went in again for another takedown, I guess, to try and seal the round, and that's when it happened. And I will be the first one to say it. When he dropped him, I saw how much time was left. I'm like, all right, he's going to get out of the ground, but he's going to be pretty fucked up. I didn't notice that he was out at first until the second hammer fist came down when the ref jumped in and then Frankie jumped up.
I let you have your knee-jerk reaction with that whole situation and didn't really actually come at you on social media because I knew once you saw the situation you would be like, yo,
this is what I stand by. For a Frankie fight, yeah, it was stopped short, but for the way that the UFC wants to go, and for how bad the reffing has been these past events, where guys have been in there too long and everybody's complaining, that's not safe for the fighters. Like Bobby Wambacher said, err on the side of caution. It's always for the safety for the fighter. I'm not mad at the stoppage. And I wasn't mad when it happened. Like, when it happened, I wasn't mad. I was shocked, to say the least. I was shocked. But let's say he got through it, and they let him come out for the second round. How there in the fight was he going to be? He was probably still going to be really fucking wobbly. And Brian Ortega is not Gray Maynard. He's not going to allow Frankie to get his bearings back. So it could have ended up being worse. It sucks that it happens, but I'm happy for Brian. I am happy for Brian. He deserved it. He went out there. He did something nobody has been able to do in 11 years of the UFC. And, however many years Frankie's been fighting from the amateurs on. Nobody's been able to knock him out. Brian Ortega did it. Hats off to him. That's awesome. That's awesome. It's a weird feeling because I never thought that we would be talking about this. Am I right or wrong, guys?
Schaub is the kiss of death. That's all I got to say. He had him on the show.
Yeah.
His Below the Belt show on Showtime. Next thing you know, he gets stopped for the first time in his career. I think it's Brendan Schaub's fault. Just going to put it out there. We throw it.
Yeah, I just think he was just going for it too much. If this was a 5-round, and everybody's like, well, if it was a 5-round fight, it wouldn't have made a difference. Well, no, it would have, because he might not have been so aggressive in that first round if it was a 5-round fight. He would have tried to drag it out a little bit before he got that aggressive. If he just kept it with the striking, he might have been all right. But he was trying to seal that first round because he knows that the judges don't always go his way. It happens. Hey, here's the good part about this all. He's not retiring. And I don't think this loss really derails him too much. He was number 2 because somehow Aldo's still number 1.
That's bullshit.
And Ortega was number 3. So if anything, he drops to number 3. He's still right there with a win over the 2 guys behind him, Cub Swanson and Jeremy Stevens. He's still right there.
And he was winning that first round.
Yeah.
Until he got caught. So there is a case to be made that, say, Ortega does win the belt. I mean, he'd still have to get through Max, I would say, to get, that's tough. He's right there, but tough.
Would you say he's in the mix?
Yeah,
I
mean,
would say he's not.
who else
Definitely not out of
is
the mix.
there?
But who did he fight? Who's next? Maybe Mendez again?
Usman.
Mendez, that you could say that
I think.
Usman's next. You can make the case that Mendez and Egger would maybe stop early, but I would say it wasn't. So you could maybe say, like, oh, he got clipped. We could see that again. I wouldn't mind watching that.
I wouldn't mind seeing that again, but Mendez didn't even argue it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course not. But neither did Frankie. But I don't think that there's – like, Frankie argued it, but I don't know that Frankie was really arguing. He was just pleading his case more so.
Yeah, I mean, but I really wasn't mad at the stoppage. Like I said, for a Frankie fight, it was kind of quick, and that's what
I mean, that was
we're saying. Like,
yeah, but dude,
you can't.
I don't know, man. I guess it's hard to not factor that in. Like, this guy usually gets through these things, but that uppercut put him out. Like, there's no question about it. He was out.
Yeah, no,
sure.
For sure. That's what it is. Like that. Like with a lot of the conversations I was having, if it was any other fighter other than Frankie, we wouldn't even be questioning it. But because it's him, that question is always right there. And that might be one of those things that helps him out too.
Dude, honestly, if he would have gotten hit with some like really clean, tough shots, everyone would have been like, yo, why didn't he stop that? You know, it would have been he was that's what he had to do. The ref did the right thing. There's no way that was early. It just wasn't early.
And you know, when we're talking about this, Chris, I know you have some tweets from this weekend. So why don't you start reading some of those off?
Yeah, I will. Hold on. You could have fucking told me. I would have pulled them up.
Oh, Omar,
No, I got it.
My heart was broken.
It's tough, bro.
What was your
I felt for you. You know, it's the first thing I thought of.
Frankie thing. Well, first we'll start off with Frankie's tweet. Saturday did not go as planned. Congrats to Ortega. He definitely got me with some good ones. That's an understatement. Thanks to all my peers, my team, my friends, and my fans for their nice words. They don't go unnoticed. All I could do now is dust myself off and get ready to put it all on the line again. Frankie's the man. Obviously, like, you know his mindset. He's going to be right back in the gym. I think he should take a little time off, but, you know, what do you expect from him? It's nice to see, like you mentioned before, it was nice to see that he came out and said something and let his fans know that he was okay. Tommy, you had posted, actually, no, I'll get to that after because there's a nice segue there. We'll go to Ortega. Nothing but respect for Frankie. His title shot was secure, and he didn't have to take the fight. He has an amazing team and some of the best coaches in the world. He became a legend by fighting anyone, anytime. Even though he didn't get the win the other night, he won when he stepped inside the octagon, which I disagree with. I think that he should have never have stepped inside the octagon. But I do understand his point. You know, Frankie, the anytime, anywhere moniker.
Well, that's the difference between a fighter and a showman.
Well, you say tomato.
Not
I
everybody.
say tomato.
Not everybody wants to be Jimmy Rivera.
Fair enough. I thought you were going the Connor route, but
No.
which I'm alluding to, by the way. All right, now Max Holloway. This is the guy, right? You had nothing to gain from taking that fight, Frankie Edgar, but you took it. You defended what you already earned. There is no belt for sacrificing everything, but true fans in Jersey knows no belt can outshine what you bring to the sport. Chin up, brother. That was classy, and I think Max really feels bad about this. I would. You know, Frankie deserves his shot.
Yeah, and you know, this is the one thing that I hate about like a lot of the asshole. Like, there's a troll that wants to have fun, like myself, and then there's a troll that just wants to be a complete and utter dick. Like, people are like, "Oh, this is your fault," you know.
Who like Conor McGregor? Conor McGregor responding to that tweet. Kid, you
did?
Leave it alone.
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
he did.
He replied to that tweet, and then Max replied with, "Are we talking about bouncing now? Don't like my tweet? Your coach did. Go ask him why. Maybe you'll find out what you lost. Maybe you'll find what you lost." So I don't even understand. Max doesn't make sense sometimes, but What the fuck?
No, I didn't see the Conor say that. No, there were like other asshole fans that were like, "Oh, you pull out of the fight, but next thing you know, there you are, helping DC on the Ultimate Fighter, and we see you walking around fine for at the UFC 222 event with your management or your management team. Like, come on, man, really?"
Those dudes need to fuck off, man. I don't even mess with the internet trolls. I'm my own troll. I troll myself, so I can't really.
I
don't get into it like you do, but
I can't.
We're gonna get to the one more. Conor McGregor, Frankie's career deserved for that to be against me tonight. Respect, Frankie. Love and respect always. A true fighter's fighter. Conor has to fucking even dap himself off when giving somebody a compliment. Like, Frankie's career deserved for that fight to be against me tonight. In other words, he deserves to get rich tonight by fighting me. And I don't disagree.
Well,
he did deserve that.
Yeah, but give a real fight offer. Not, I'll fight Frankie for the 165-pound belt.
Speak.
Watch when you're talking about the Burger King, all right? Keep his name clean.
Connor's been on a rampage with his social media lately. He was talking about how he never said 165 or whatever. He was like, that was all bullshit. The real thing was the UFC couldn't come up with the money to pay him in time. That's what he said.
You mean to tell me that if Conor McGregor was taking a short notice fight, WME could not come up with the money to give him because the money that they were going to generate for a pay-per-view that was worth toilet paper, like that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I don't think that's true at all. They couldn't come up with the money to pay him? It was a month. Are you kidding me?
Just going by what dude said.
Yeah, but come on. Dana White couldn't promote a Conor McGregor fight in a month? Dennis Seaver and Conor McGregor made money. Dennis fucking Seaver. Come on.
Valid point. Yeah, but did you really want to see Frankie get knocked out even worse?
Yikes.
It's an entirely different fight. You see, like Conor and Max against Frankie is an entirely different fight. Entirely different fight.
Yo, Ortega, I've been saying Max looks invincible. I don't know. Ortega guy.
But you see, here's the thing, and I like Ortega and I like Max. Max isn't going to shoot in.
Fight a few times.
Max isn't going to shoot in for a takedown. So Ortega's going to have to be the one that's going to try and have to get it to the ground and stuff like that.
Yeah, but I also see Max. I don't see Max taking a backward step all that often in this fight either. So, I feel like a level change takedown isn't necessarily outside the realm of possibility. Conor took Max down several times. This was a long time ago, but Conor isn't a wrestler or a ground fighter at all. But he did manage to take Max down. So I wouldn't say I would say that's his one weakness, if anything, would be his takedown defense. But I'm sure he knows that. I'm sure he's known that for a while. I'm sure he's working. Yeah,
because this was a discussion I was actually having with somebody who, of course, was all Conor would knock Frankie the fuck out. I'm like, yeah, but Frankie wouldn't fight Conor the way that he just fought Ortega, to where he'd have to be a little bit more cautious.
He would straight wrestle.
Exactly.
He would chin down, shoulders up, hands up.
Yeah.
Bullying,
exactly.
Overhand
right.
But that's a dangerous style. I think that's a dangerous style against Conor. He could pick your body apart. He sees those shots
I don't know.
Away. You have to land the takedown, and then you have to keep on landing them. Otherwise, you're going to be in trouble.
I've always wanted to see that fight from the beginning, just because it would get Frankie paid. But a legitimate offer should have been on the table.
Tommy, there's something to say about those numbers that you posted the picture. Like, there's some incredible, impressive numbers that Frankie put together. Like, his career is insane, but those fights have taken a toll. At a point,
it adds up.
Reality hits.
It adds up.
And I'm not knocking Frankie at all. The motherfucker, you can't say a bad word about him. I can't. You know, I talk shit
you're
with
right.
you guys.
They add up, but honestly, until the Ortega fight, were we sitting there saying that those numbers and stuff add up? Like, that's what I mean. Like, let's put it this way: if he gets another fight and something like this happens again, then it might be time. But I mean, again, hats off to Ortega. I'm going to be excited to see Brian and Max get it on, and definitely excited to see who they're going to give Frankie next. So let's end this with the last couple minutes that we have, chuckling about the main event.
Chuckling.
Oh, boy.
I'll chuckle
Jesus.
at that word. Fucking A.
I mean,
man.
I'm just glad Cyborg ended it when she did and didn't, drag it out. She just did what she had to do.
All right, let's just talk about what we're really here to talk about with the Cyborg fight, is that she called Nunes out. Like, let's not even waste time on the fight because, let's just cut to the chase. Fair? We don't have time anyway. We're short.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. We're gonna get to see those two dudes fight.
Nunes has to win her fight first.
Yeah, I don't know that
She's got to win her fight first.
That fight's not official though, is it? The Pennington fight? I don't think that's official. I call bullshit on that fight. I call now that there's a new fight to make. Let's make that one. That's what
that fight was already
July.
made.
I see
that
July
fight was already
on the
made
card.
for July. Cyborg decided to take this fight against fucking...
Yeah, I know, but July's a long way away.
Yana the punching bag.
All right, fuck it. Enough about that. We're going to do... Before we close out, we have a small segment, right? This day in MMA, or this week in MMA. This week in MMA. This actually March 5th in 2016. My boy, Nasty Nate Diaz, choked out my other boy, Conor McGregor, at UFC 196. What other special event took place on that night? Did you tell me? Well, what other fight was on that card? Anybody?
God, I don't remember.
No.
Misha, Cupcake, Tate choked Holly unconscious.
Oh, with the punches?
That night.
When she punched as she went to sleep? Classic.
Yeah. Classic night in MMA. A little MMA history for you. We're going to start doing that to close out the show every week, ladies and gentlemen.
I like that.
Yeah, no, that
Good
was
segment,
a good
man.
one.
Strong segment.
That was definitely a good one. But my favorite part of the Nate Conor fight was the Stockton slap that stunned Conor before he shot for the
and then the point right after it, Nate. I mean, I think you guys are going to miss Nate when he's gone, Tommy. I think you're going to miss the guys like him. For sure.
He's still here?
I mean, he's gone, isn't he?
He's still here? Yeah.
He's gone.
Stop it. Come on. Don't
like
give...
his brother, he's gone.
Come on.
Gone like a 59 Cadillac. Gone.
As long as Conor McGregor keeps mentioning his name, he's not gone. Conor keeps on tweeting about the trilogy. That fight's going to happen. He's not gone until that fight happens. We all know that.
Well, the history books mention Hitler. I don't think he's coming back.
Oh,
all right.
Whoa.
We'll end it at that. We'll end it at Hitler. All right. One more minute before we lose live feed anyway. So.
Fucking.
The resident racist over here.
Jesus.
I'm just saying, like, come on. Nate
David
ain't
Duke.
back.
David Duke's younger brother.
Nate ain't coming back. Nate is sitting pretty on getting his cannabis awards and stuff like that I saw that he's getting. So if he's doing good other ways instead of fighting, cool. Just stop teasing the fight. All right, guys, listen. Yeah, listen. It was a good event. This was a little bit of a fun show. We're gonna have to have our March Madness tournament happen soon. So we'll talk more about that. We don't have anything lined up for next week, but don't forget March 9th, Shamrock FC 303 is going on. Make sure you go to shamrockfc.com to watch that fight on Friday night. See our guest, Brandon Lowe. So, guys, Another great show. Shout outs to our sponsors, 80K Fightwear, Black Hole Jiu-Jitsu, Madama Jiu-Jitsu, and 2 Minute Warning Sports 360. I'm the Reverend Tommy D, joined with me by El Professor, Omar Sangarima, and the happy casual hardcore Chris Gucci. We're Pride Rules Podcast. Good night.
Then he gets it right, then he gets it wrong. Fucking
He's
guy.
consistently inconsistent.
Exactly.
That's the best part. Mm-hmm.